This playthrough is rated M for mature.
The Kreisenbazaar. Kreisenberg, home to nearly 500,000 people and until very recently, Monica Schaefer. Once a melting pot of cultural diversity, it's now a chaotic mess of wealth and poverty, crime and commerce, anarchy and control. It is also home to your own little slice of Berlin, a neighborhood that locals call the Kreisenbazaar, a safe port in the eyes of a storm. The ride back to the Kreisenbazaar is quiet. No one is in a talkative mood. As the van veers past potholes, garbage piles, the glare of streetlights, and neon signs plays across your window, painting the world in a kaleidoscope of garish colors. Soon the van rounds a corner and skids to a halt in a narrow, crumbling alley. This is as far as Berlin's chaotic streets will take you. Your team wordlessly debarks the vehicle and climbs down into a disused section of the U-Bahn tunnel system, a well-kept secret providing your team safe passage into the Kreisenbazaar. Your safe house awaits you on the other side. What a dour way to start. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. Let's get inside. In the last episode, we finished the run, but it wasn't finished in the greatest of fashion. Can't happen fast enough, love. The sooner we get into the sooner I can get drunk. In the last episode, our ally, leader, friend died getting bioshocked by some computer, but she wordlessly told us something that happened. Hope to, or some nefarious scheme, it's hard to say, but she's dead, and now we must head back to base and let everyone know what happened. It's going to be a grim affair, but we have to do it. Kind of makes you wonder the legacy and life of one person. How far did Monica's reach appear to those around her? We'll find out today. You step inside, and the squalor of the disused U-Bahn tunnel gives way to the warmth of your safe house. A man awaits inside, silhouetted against the dim fluorescent lighting. Something bad has happened, hasn't it? He steps forward, revealing a pale, expressionless face, light glinting off of steel-rimmed glasses. Paul M. Sell, your team's fixer and landlord, part deal maker and part-time broker, one of the most well-connected men in Berlin. His eyes sweep across the team as he takes it all in. The grim faces, the hard stares, Iger's fury, Monica's absence. I had a feeling. How did she... His face has gone ashen. He swallows, takes a moment to chew on the words before spitting them out. How did it happen? The run was a setup. 1 minute she was cracking the safe, the next she was on the ground screaming. Something in the vault security system got her and she was jacked in. It was all over in an instant. Deck or two. Something in the vault security system cooked her brain. It was too quick to be black IC. Glory nods, her motion robotics and spare. Monica died of a biofeedback-induced stroke. That's right. Iger thrusts a gloved finger into your chest. And this idiot stood by and let it happen. Brush your finger aside. That's bullshit, Iger. You weren't even in the room. Shove her hand away. Poke me again. I dare you. Say nothing. Ignore it. Let it happen. Let it happen. She jacked in, she screamed, and she seized. By the time she saw she was in trouble, it was already too late. Yeah, because you'd never bothered learning what to look for. Muscle contraction, micro-tremors are good indicators of a decker in distress. I'm assuming you don't have anyone keeping an eye out for those. No, if you had, my friend would be lying dead in a basement. Oh, shove off, Iger. We were all on the lookout for his physical security, Black Via included. Throwing him under the bus isn't going to help anything. Under the bus is exactly where he belongs. Iger turns to face Dietrich. She towers over him, but he stands his ground. I respect you, Dietrich. You know that, but you don't have my training. None you have. Monica was good. She was the best, right? But she was overconfident. She treated the job like it was a game. Do that long enough, and you're gonna get burned. Iger turns her focus back to you. If you'd been paying attention, you'd have figured out all this on your own by now. You've known that Monica needs watching as much as that door. Iger, enough! Amsel's voice is hoarse, his expression blank. Enough! Iger pushes ahead heedlessly of the interrogation. Her voice remains measured, but there's fire in her eyes. How many seconds passed before Monica's first convulsion and the blood getting pulled? 4, 5? Do you know how much damage biofeedback can do to a Decker's brain in 5 seconds? Iger, I don't. How dare you? Look, this won't... You don't have to answer that. Of course you know. Monica died while you stood there and watched. This is all your... That is enough! Amsel's voice comes out in a roar, and a fist smashes down the desk behind him. Iger, you and Blackwire have it out later, but I've had enough. We need to talk action. Our client sent you into something much bigger than he led us to believe. I want to know why. You're right there with you. That was supposed to be a milk van. Payback isn't the only reason we need to get him. We saw someone back there, something we weren't supposed to see. It's fair to assume that we're still in danger. He pauses, rubs his temples. Agreed. And to neutralize that danger, we need to know who we're dealing with. Let us review the events that transpired tonight. The smallest detail could be important, so hold nothing back. The estate was just a front for whatever was going on in the basement. Amsel nods. That much is clear. It wasn't a minor enterprise either. That facility took serious funds to build. In time, there was more to it than we saw. Places like that don't spring up overnight. In all that secret, the owners, whoever they may be, were none too pleased by your escape, I'm sure. What else did you find? After everything went to hell, we were confronted by an orc in military-grade armor. He appeared to be head of security. That is not much to go on. Do any details about this orc come to mind? Any distinguishing features that I could look into? He was an older guy, for one. From the sounds of his voice, I guess mid to late 40s. Pretty old for an orc. And he had green skin grafts. Most of his face looked like replacement material. If the grafts came from a legitimate hospital, there may be medical records. That is something. I can see what I can find out. Do you know anything else during the run that may be of value? Monica lived long enough to say a name. First thing. She fought hard to tell us. It must be important. Sorry, I tried, looking at some German phrases, but let's say German is not my first language. I spoke German like a long time ago, and it was like for only like a year or something at school. I've lost most of my knowledge of German, so sorry for those who speak German. I'm butchering it, so it must be important. Amsel seems taken back. He pauses for a moment before responding. The Fire Wing! This is unexpected. You have to forgive me. This brings back many unpleasant memories. Gloria raised an eyebrow. The Fire Wing? The most terrible of the great dragons. There are those who would disagree, but they never experienced the terror of living in her shadow. He glances to Glory. You are far too young to remember, of course, but the Germans from my generation, the name Wurschwing is synonymous with chaos, destruction, and death. It means German for Fire Wing. That's obvious, but... The dragons of today are subtle creatures, full of patience and guile. Wurschwing was not. After her awakening, she went on a 4-month rampage that claimed tens of thousands of lives. Amsel takes a deep breath, slowly realizes there's a haunting look in his eye. Those were dark days. Countless men, women, and children are slaughtered, roasted alive in their homes by a creature of legend. No hope for salvation. No end in sight. It was a horror that cannot begin to understand. What stopped her? I can't imagine that the red-painted dragon would just go away on her own. Eventually, the Fire Wing was brought down by a man named Dr. Adrian Vauldemare. Well, with the help of the Luftwaffe, of course, but the experimental weapons designed by Dr. Van Clare that finally pierced her hide. She fell into hail of bullets and rocket fire, crashed down into the radioactive wasteland of the SOX. This event was called the Dragonfall. Safe at last from the dragon's wrath, Germany celebrated Van Clare as a hero. Or Vauclair, sorry. Our own Siegfried, a modern-day dragon slayer. My own family practically worshipped the man. If the Dragonfall was important as an event as you make it out to be, I'm surprised that I'd never heard of it. Those early years of the awakening were traumatic, Iger, not just on a national level, but on a global scale. New species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, the active use of magic had returned to the world, a new source of terror for a bewildered public. And in 2021, the sudden emergence of orcs and trolls gave rise to yet another wave of global panic. In light of such turmoil, was any surprise that Dr. Vauclair and the Fire Wing were forgotten? Dragons were yesterday's news. He rubs his temples. Again, all this happened decades ago. To the best of my knowledge, the story of Wurschwing is a bit of a historical trivia, nothing more. Alright, so Monica spent her dying breath trying to tell us about the London Dragon. Iger sweeps her eyes across the group, searching for a glimmer of insight. Finally, she gives up. Any ideas as to why? Amsel's voice trembles with frustration. No, it don't make any sense to me if it does to you. The Dragonfall is ancient history. Wurschwing has been dead and gone for 42 years. But there's one thing I do know. Whatever Monica saw, whatever she was trying to tell us, it was important. He visibly struggles to calm himself, takes a deep breath, and slowly releases it. I'll look into this. I'll find answers. In the meantime, did you turn up anything else of value? That's all we got. That is not much. Amsel nods. His face is drawn and haggard. It is thin, I agree. A basement, a middle-aged orc with skin grafts and long-forgotten world events. Wait, we're still missing something we paid for this run. You haven't said a thing about our client yet, Paul. You holding on to us? Whoever sent us knew what we were walking into. We were set up. That is obvious, but why? Paul's face reddens. I warned her. I told her not to take this run, but she assured me it was a cakewalk. You didn't bring it to her? No, she set up the whole thing herself. Monica was approached recently by a man who calls himself Green Winters. He used to be a prominent activist in the F-State political scene. I never much liked the man. I certainly never trusted him. But Monica, she would do anything for her cause, anything for the Flux State. He sighs. Winters swore that the data he was after was crucial to ensuring the future stability of the Flux. And that is all it took. Sounds like Green Winters is our best lead then. We need to track down Monica's client and press him for information. Yes, most definitely. It's clear that Green Winters has involved us in something much larger than he led Monica to believe. When he finds out what happened on the run, he's probably gonna go rabbit. We need to chase him down before that happens. So, how do we find this guy? Any leads? So we need information on Green Winters, and we need it fast. There's a man here in Krasnbazaar, a Turk named Atulg Burazkazi. He owns a little soy calf shop down by the way called Kazrev. The man is also a purveyor of information. I've done business with him from time to time. And you think he would know something about the Green Winters? Amsel nods. When I discovered Monica's renewed association with Green Winters, I contacted Tulg. One of his people has been keeping tabs on Winters ever since. As I said, I do not trust the man. For good reason of seeing him, I'll talk to Altug and see what he knows about Green Winters. Per Mac, sounds like it's about time I pay Altug a visit. Best to be cautious in our line of work. Should I go meet with Altug then? Yes, tell him I sent you. I will do what I can to dig into information that you've uncovered recently, sparse though it may be. Yeah, looks like we're going to have to find out about this Green Winters fella. Anyway, we get 5 karma for our effort, so we can level up. If you're playing a shaman or something like that, you want to have, or a mage, you want to have your willpower at 6 at this point. Actually, it's not. If you don't have your willpower at 6, it's fine. It's just you can get a little bit of extra karma if you have willpower 6 for a specific person we talk to, but not a big deal. Just thought I'd let you know. You have anything to say, Paul? Oh yeah, even though our droid got destroyed, he comes back. It's basically every mission. If a droid or a character dies, they just come back. They can't be effective in the rest of that mission, but they come back afterwards. So there's no like permadeath or anything like that. Back. Blackfire. Amsel appears at you apprehensively. His eyes are bloodshot, his expression grim. Did you get anything about Green Winters? No, not yet. Then please continue working. We need to find that man. All right, we'll. How about you, Dietrich? What's up? Dietrich turns his head at you approach. His aging face is traced with a network of faint scars, the legacy of too many fights over too many years. While he still retains a degree of strength and vigor, it's obvious that the shaman you see today is a shadow of his former self. Despite all this, there is an aura of power surrounding the man. He raises a bottle, offering it up to you. Backfire, welcome. I've got a bottle of schnapps that needs sharing, and I've got a fallen comrade to drink to. Leave not right now, Dietrich. I've got things to do. Refuse. You drink to Maga. I have a job to focus on. Refuse. I don't drink, but I'll join you saluting his memory. Take the bottle. Go ahead and toast Monica. I'm drinking to revenge. Take the bottle to Monica. Prost. That's German for cheers. The liquid in the bottle is crystal clear. As you raise it, you catch an intoxicating whiff of cloves and caramel. It tastes of sweet corn and walnuts with a lingering aftertaste of buttery toffee. You swallow a swig, then return the bottle to Dietrich's outstretched hands. He takes a long pull on the bottle and then locks eyes with you. Let me ask you a question, Backfire. What made you choose to come to Berlin? Now, these choices here are just backlog for your character. It has nothing to do with the plot. It's just backstory for you as the player. If you want to set up a backstory for your character, you can. So if you don't care about that, you can just leave. I don't have time for a long conversation, Dietrich. I just want to pay my respects to Monica. And then, yeah, you just build up your backstory for Dietrich and you as the player. So, nothing particular. I'd rather not talk about it. I had my reasons. Why do you want to know? Monica told me that you moved here from the Rheinschrift Megaplex. Made it sound like you'd been there for a good many years, successful years at that. Leads a man to wonder why you packed up and moved here. Run went back and my team paid the price. I just had to drop out of sight for a while. A member of my old crew betrayed me. It was time for a change, that's all. A member of my old crew betrayed me. Ain't that a pisser? I can handle all sorts of things, but betrayal always makes me see red. There were extraneous circumstances. If he didn't do what he did, his family would pay the price. Right there with you. I've ventilated the son of a bitch before I left the Ruplex. Yeah, I know the feeling. I tried to make him answer for it, but the bastard got away. The piece of dreck cut and run, huh? That's rough, man. Dietrich takes another swig from his bottle and then shrugs. So he got away, but who knows, right? Maybe you'll catch up with him someday. So after all this went down, you decide to bail out of the Ruplex and head to Berlin. Am I ready getting this right? No offense, Dietrich, but I've got to run. We can talk about this later. There's a bit more to it than that, but yeah, more or less, there wasn't much left for me in the Ruplex, and Monica made me a hell of an offer. Ah, yes, Monica. Dietrich raises his bottle again, then closes his eyes and takes a long drink. After the moment he has passed, he returns his attention to you. It all comes back to our girl, doesn't it? So, let me tell you something. Just what was your relationship with Monica anyway? I know that you two knew each other from way back, but she was pretty cool about those feelings. Are you always this inquisitive? We're treading into dangerous personal territory here. Well, what do you want to know? Monica was my friend. I cared about her. Dietrich shrugs. I don't know. I guess that I just wanted to know her better. There were some areas of her life that have always been a mystery, and you could always shed any light on them. I'd be appreciative. I knew Monica well enough to know what you mean. She did have a mysterious way about her. It's none of your business, Dietrich, and Monica wanted you to know these things. She'd have told you herself. I can respect that. So what was the deal between the two of you? Don't leave me in suspense. We were business associates, nothing more. We were friends. We were very close. Dietrich nods. Figured as much. Not from anything you or Monica said. I just had a suspicion. Well, anyway, good on you both. Dietrich raises a bottle to you and salute. She was a wonderful woman, and I hope that your time together was happy. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time, and the bottle's almost empty. Thanks for taking the time to talk. For what it's worth, I'm happy you're here with us. Dietrich takes a final pull of the bottle and tips it forward, pouring the rest on the ground. Rest in peace, Monica. We'll miss you, girl. Yeah, you could basically, it's whatever you want to do with Monica, what your relationship with her and stuff like that. Like I said, it doesn't really do much to the story other than just fill out some backstory for you. Ooh, Dante. Of course, the Cerberus-looking dog is called Dante. As you start towards the safe house door, a large four-legged form steps around the corner. Dante, Monica's dog, an enormous mongrel of indeterminate breed. A low whimper emerges as he enters the room, head hanging low. Ah, shit, Dante. Dietrich shakes his head. Don't worry, boy. We'll act after you. At the sight of Monica's dog, Amstel's eyes well up. He inhales but can't quite catch his breath. He started whimpering about an hour ago. Turned into a full-blown howl. Wouldn't stop. Kept. He closes his eyes. That's when I realized something bad had happened. Well, dogs have a weird, sense of things, They can sense... It seems like they can sense emotions and stuff like that most normal people wouldn't notice. Looking down into those big, huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. He lets out a small whine and rubs his head against you. Ignore him, brush the dog aside, scratch Dante behind the ears, grabs Monica's bag of soy jerky treats off the table and give him one. Dante takes the treat in his mouth and as clearly he has no appetite for it and the jerky drops to the floor. He leans into you and looks up mournfully, pressing his ribs against your legs. I guess the dog is going with you, Backfire. Amstel takes a ragged breath and releases it. Then a slow, melancholy smile plays across his face. Well, perhaps a part of Monica lives on in Dante. Return to the safe house when you're finished with Altog. Mind Freud. With a little luck, he can help us locate Green Winters, and we can get to the bottom of this. He stares at the floor. And now I think we should I'll take a moment. He tightens his lips tight. For Monica. So, yeah, Dante will hang around with us. He doesn't actually do anything in combat, so... And we got our stash here if we want to equip stuff or leave stuff around, but we don't need to do that. But yeah, this would be one of our hub areas for the game. Just this place and everything outside, so nice little change of pace from the previous game. There was a hub area, but there wasn't much to it, and Shadowrun's Returns is a little bit more to it, so in this game. Iger glares at you and you can taste the bile in her stare. She clearly still blames you for Monica's death. Something I can do for you, fearless leader. Nothing right now, Iger. You're wrong about me, Iger. I tend to prove my worth to you. Yeah, you can apologize for a little outburst that you had in front of Paul and the rest of the team. Yeah, we need to talk about Monica. Not right now, we don't. Don't press me on this, Backfire. One of these days, we're gonna hash this out and you can talk all you like about the clusterfuck that killed one of my best friends, but it won't be today. Fair enough, but before I go, I had something else to say. You're wrong about me, Iger. I tend to prove that. Spit it out then, let's hear it. You're wrong about me, Iger. I tend to prove that to you. She stares at you for a moment, then looks away. Best of luck with that, Backfire. Now please, leave me alone. Alright, Iger, but this conversation isn't over. It is for now, fearless leader. She turns around. Do us but the favor. Take the hint to go away. Man, it's gonna take a while to break that old shell, that's for sure. Hey, Glory. And talking about Ice Queens, Glory is beautiful in a waifish sort of way. Her features are almost elvish in their delicacy, but there's something cold about her that you find slightly unsettling. Yeah, she's almost got no essence. What's more unsettling is her chrome. Glory is rocking a heavy loadout of cyberware from head to toe. She looks to be composed more of plastic and metal than she is of skin and bone. In the shadows, individuals such as this are anything but uncommon, but Glory's cyberware is first generation. All of it. Bulky, invasive, practically museum pieces. This chrome was obsolete well before she was born. Backfire? Glory shifts her eyes to you, or gaze to you, but her expression is as cold and placid as always. Can I help you? Hey, Glory, how you holding up? Don't worry about me, I'm solid. If you say you're good, you're good. See, you sure? You look like you're a million miles away. You better be. If you flake out on the job, you and me are gonna have problems. If you say you're good, you're good. I trust you. Glory's expression remains neutral, but she grants you a barely perceptible nod. Any thoughts on what we should do next? Find a missing client, extract some answers. Beyond that, take jobs, get paid. I have a question for you, Glory, of the personal kind. I'm not big on sharing sport. Personal reasons. You understand, I'm sure. The edge of her voice tells you that she's not interested in continuing this conversation. If you ever want to run with me, sure, I'll understand, but I still need to talk to you. If you ever want to run with me again, you'll answer your questions now. Of course, we'll all have our secrets, but if you ever want to talk, I'm here. You have another case of we'll eventually get some answers, but for now, let's leave it at that. Yeah, you can't be like Dragon Age and get everyone's backstory like in the first chapter of the game. Yeah, that was a weird thing about the game is that you could, as soon as you finish the first major section of the game, you could basically finish up a person's storyline right in camp in the first section. I'm like, shouldn't that be spaced out a bit better? But anyway, like maybe after every major event in the game it happens. But anyway, we step outside and this is our hub area, the Kreisenbazar. Yeah, I know I'm butchering it. But anyway, let's talk to everyone around town. Let's see. Malit Hole. The dwarves tech vendor smiles at you with practiced ease. Her almost almond eyes twinkle with a glare from a dozen tread screens. She speaks in a clipped, heavy accent in German. Welcome to the data haven. Can I help you with something? I need some tech. I'm tight schedule. Show me what you've got. I'm on the market for something exotic. What kind of techs do you carry? Just browsing. Don't mind me. Now let's see what you've got. I wouldn't suggest buying anything right now just because money-wise we're kind of low, and two, stuff will eventually... we'll get better stuff later on, like for cost difference, it's better to wait on some situations. But this lady sells decks, which will eventually want to get a deck because I'm going to play the decker of this group. Could buy a Sony right now for the cheap, but I'll hold off before we go to the next chapter if I decide what I want to do. But yeah, she's got computer programs, drone repair, stuff like that. But this is where we go for that. But like I said, we'll go over that eventually. Oh yeah, we have to go to the Cafe Cruise 8. Not going to do that just yet. Good. Kind of explore around town before we do the plot. Let's see, we got the Talismonger shop. Let's take a look inside. Alright. Oh, that guy looks familiar. They probably reused an asset. Absinthe, huh? Something about the young elf behind the counter makes your breath catch in your chest. She's lovely to look at, but it's a strange kind of beauty. Her eyes are large and luminous and impossibly green. As she looks up at you, you can see that her irises are flecked with iridescent gold. Hello and welcome to Aljernon. Perhaps I can help you with something. That name sounds vaguely familiar. As she smiles up at you, her eyes fixes on yours. A curious feeling of weightlessness fills your chest. It feels as though you're floating in a warm, calm sea. A gentle current pulls you closer to Absinthe, and the sensation is pleasant. As you drift, the golden specks in her eyes begin to move. Unfortunately, we don't have the willpower to this, but yeah, if you have a willpower of 6, you can actually get an extra karma from being able to force yourself to not stare at her. But anyway, since we don't have that, look deeper in her eyes. The golden specks in Elf's eyes shift and swirl, slowly picking up speed. It's memorizing me. All at once, the specks explode into light and color. Absinthe's eyes now fill your field of vision, and it feels as if you're drowning in the alien sea. The patterns traced by the shimmering specks in her eyes are kaleidoscopic, enchanting, nearly impossible to turn away. Lose yourself. You are lost. Your entire world has been reduced to a churning vortex of green and gold. Dimly, you become aware that something is happening. You feel your body being buffeted by unseen forces, and suddenly, everything goes black. 10 hours later. No. Slowly and painfully, you struggle your way back to consciousness. The shop's owner, Aljernon, is peering down at you. Your expressions of concern on his face. Absinthe stand beside him. Her expressions are one of embarrassment. I forgot what voice I gave him in Shadowrun's Returns. But yeah, Algernon's one of the few recurring characters from the previous game. So, but the idea is that he was always here. And in the first game, he was just given an astral projection to his shop. In the other game, I think it was the concept for it. Welcome back, friend. Aljernon extends a hand to help you back to your feet. Absinthe shifts slightly to allow you to stand. What happened? What was that? What happened? My fault and my apologies. Sometimes when I daydream, I bring others along for the ride. It was unintentional, yes, but there was no harm done, correct? You'll be fine. Harmless? I don't think so. Step away from me, Elf. I want nothing more to do with you. No harm done. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to go stand in the corner for a while. See, I don't think we can really talk to her much anymore after that, though. Absinthe keeps her eyes hidden from view. Please excuse me, I have work to do. Yeah, pretty much we can't really talk with her much after that, so. Hey, Aljernon. Yeah, so nice to see you back from the previous game. Greetings, young human. The elf's voice is as smooth as silk and rich as clotted cream. Something about him instantly puts you at ease. I am Aljernon, half-dream, the owner of this establishment. In my dream, you'll find only the finest in magical paraphernalia. Now tell me, how may I serve you? If you're selling or buying, show me your inventory. Basically sells mage stuff. I have a question for you if you don't mind. You and look, I have very many answers. What kind of magic do you practice? Shamanic? Hermetic? Not personally the true kind, but I sell goods tailored to all traditions in my shop. We do not discriminate. Now, is there anything else you need to know? What's your story? Have you been in Kreisenberg long? I have many stories. Stories of dancing spirits, raging dragons, of unchecked magic, and swarming chaos. All those stories are true. As for Kreisenbazer, I've always been here, quietly prodding my wares. It's a simple life, but a good one. Now, is there anything else you need to know? What's the deal with your assistant? There's something funny about her eyes. Absinthe is a friend, nothing more. She helps out around the shop when the fancy strikes her. She is nobody's assistant. I am no one's master. But her eyes... He pauses for a moment, considering. I believe that they suit her personality. Now, is there anything else you need to know? Can I see what you're selling? Yeah, see, he sells mage spells, mage armor. Also sells stuff for shamans. And he also sells stuff for physical adepts, and you can also buy fetishes here. That's for if you need to summon a summoned spirit without finding one in the natural environment. A good deal places will have stuff for spirits, but there will be a few times where there won't be. So, all right, let's get out of there. Let's keep checking around town. Yeah, no really action today, folks. It's all about kind of the checking the hub area, talking to locals, stuff like that. There's a local dancer there. Tip the dancer. I don't have the money right now. Well, I do, but I don't want to, so I want to save my money. So, sorry, babe. Yeah, see, there's the U-Bond platform. Let's take a look inside. See if anyone's in here. I don't think so, but... Nope, okay. Yeah, you can go here to head towards missions, but nothing here right now, so... Wasn't sure. I always forget, like, all the details, like maybe certain people being certain places, but... See anything in this weird corner over here? Ooh. Homeless. Fun. No, size of this guy. Gunari Metbach. The Ramaji patriarch is an impressive figure, an enormous man in his late 60s, burly and broad-chested despite his age. His voice is deep and resonant, and his breath is heavy with the stench of pipe tobacco. Tvaven Bakhtail, you're here to conduct some business. If so, I welcome you to Metbach, arms and ammunition. If not, keep right on walking. I have cash and need weapons. Show me the goods. I'm here to buy. Can you tell me about your inventory? I was hoping to ask you a few questions. You make a purchase. You can ask as many questions as you like. The corner of his mouth twitches upward. Make a deal big enough, purchase, and who knows, I might even answer a few. So what'll be? Will you buy some guns, or will you be on your merry way? In that case, I suppose I'm buying. Very good. But I'm not actually buying, because I'm not going to be a gun type of character. I might buy grenades, maybe. Just to assist, like have my character do something, but most of the time it'll be me just using my drones. But yeah, he sells drones. He sells grenades, armor, melee weapons, and ammo and stuff like that. So, or ammo, guns and stuff like that. But we don't need that right now. So, yeah, the tough. I won't say it's tough in this game, but you don't want to buy. You looking for some magic, Mind Freud? Yeah, it looks like a magic user right there. I've got the cash of old Zach's got the flash. It looks like you got the local drug dealer. But yeah, this is one of those games where you don't want to buy every single upgrade as soon as you get it, because just the way upgrades work and how if you could save some money by just waiting for the next section and that type of thing. So, Zach Flash. The elf has clearly seen better days. His skin is withered and emaciated, as though it had been stretched too tightly over his frame. Track marks line the crooks of his arms, and dirty bandages wraps his knuckles. Despite all of this, he seems cheerful enough. The elf fixes his twinkling, bugged-out eyes on yours, and others offers you a broad smile, displaying a set of impossibly white teeth. When he speaks to you, his voice is surprisingly deep. Well, good to talk, mein Freund. You have some magic, because Zach Flash, he gestures at himself to dramatic flourish, is your magic man. Magic? Are you street mage? Zach lets out a throaty, barking laugh. Street mage, me! Do I look like a street mage to you? He shakes his head and his smile doesn't waver. He fishes a small bag of pills out of his back pocket and dangles it before your eyes. No, chumma, I'm not a street mage. I've got the magic in my blood and the magic in these bags, but you won't catch old Zach studying any spell book. Well, in that case, let's talk about the magic you've got in that bag there. What have you got? Oh, a little bit of everything. I've got your Zen and your Hyper, your Nitro, and your Nova Coke. If you want it, I've got it. Zach leans towards you and lowers his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. I've even got special concoction of my own design, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you're serious about getting high. So, you want to conduct a little business? What's the deal with a special concoction? Flash's grin broadens even further. His mouth is disturbingly large. There's something menacing about the sight of those two white teeth. There's a real deal, chummer. A proprietary blend designed and delivered by yours truly. Pharmaceutical grade, kamikaze cut with genuine spirit residue from the tier, and then mixed in with my secret blends of herbs and spices. He produces a small packet filled with iridescent purple granules from the pocket of his dirty jeans. You want to get high? Buy some Nova Coke and throw yourself a party. But if you want to soar, you get yourself some Flash. It's a cash. So you want to conduct a little business? What's up with the bandages on your hands? Zach snorts out a burst of laughter. He waggles his bandaged hands in front of you. Oh, these, nothing much, chummer, nothing much tussle with a spirit back in Amsterdam. You know, we elves are very spiritual people. If you have the race of elf, you can be, oh, come off it. Elves are not, on the whole, any more or less magical than anyone else. I'm in a position to know, but no. You fought with a spear with your bare hands. Did I say fought? Zach winks at you, his smile twisted up in a litigious smirk. You can't help noticing that his eyelashes appear to be dusted with glitter. Nah, chummer, Zach Flash is a lover, not a fighter. We partied, then we tussled. Hard not to get banged up under the circumstances. That's my cue to leave, catch you, Zach. I'm calling bullshit on this one. Zach's smile vanishes. You're calling me a liar to my face? I call it like I see it. Now you want to move some product or what? You'd rather I do it behind your back? Figure of speech, I didn't mean to offend you, please go on. Behind your back. In an instant, Zach's disturbingly white smile returns. I can't just stay mad at you. Alright, chummer, you get that one for free. So what was it? Alright, spirits. Elves, you know my people, are creatures of the spirit. We got the magic in our blood, whether we sling spells or not. I'm telling you, I've talked with spirits all my life, and it has nothing to do with praying to a totem or studying spellbooks. Flash lowers his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. Between you and me, my mojo is stronger than any corp wage mages. Take those rat scum bastards as a technology. They cast spells all day and all night, right? Fire this and lightning that, just tossing around like candy. Yep, that's what they do. Look, I don't mean cut off, but I've got things to do. You want to make the deal or not? Yeah, look, I've got to run. Catch you later, Zach. Right. Well, I'm just saying my thing. Not casting spells, I'm storing up my energy, saving it. Can you imagine how much magic I have? Hey, that's great, Zach. Look, I've got to go keep storing up that energy. Yeah, I've heard enough of this. Let's talk business. What you got? I don't think that's how it works, Zach. Trust me, friend. I have a secret knowledge. He slowly turns his head from side to side to give you a good look at his upturned ears. Like I said, it's in the blood. Fascinating, we'll gotta go. Take 0, Zach. Okay, Zach, I trust you. Now, can we do some business? If you got Biotech 3, though, we can actually examine his ears. The scars are subtle, but your trained eyes, they stand out as they were drawn on with red ink. It appears that Zach's ears have been surgically cut, folded, and stitched back together again. The implication is clear. Zach Flash is not an elf, but a human who's had cheap plastic surgery to try and make himself look like one. You've heard of elf posers before, but you've never seen one in Germany until now. He's an elf weeb. Did the whole magic elf routine help with sales? Help me out here, poser. Well, there's a first time for everything, so Zach, how'd you mojo hold up after the operation? You know, cosmetic octoplasty has come a long way in recent years. You could probably stand to have those ears touched up. The surgical scars are hard to miss. All at once, the smile vanishes from Zach's face. A bead of sweat traces its way down his cheek. Look, you can't tell anyone about this, alright? Then I'm a magic elf stick to boost my sales. No problem about your secret safe with me. So, what do we give me to keep your little secret? Yeah, I figured. Hang on. He thrusts his hand into his pocket in his filthy jacket and rummaging around. Eventually fished out a small vial and a filthy crud stick. Here, some Flash and some cash. Enjoy it. Now, are we done or what? Show me what you got. It basically gives you 50 Nuyen and some drugs, some Flash. So, Flash, what that does if you use on combat, adds +2 movement and +2 AP for 1 round. Kamikaze adds +2 body, +1 strength, and -1 bump, 1 willpower for 5 rounds. And Nitro adds strength and willpower +2, but -2 charisma and intelligence for 5 rounds. So, once again, we're saving money, but this is a way to get like small buffs in the game. Flash is actually not bad, 700 for what it is. It's because it's pure benefit. Actually, the Kamikaze is too, but anyway, it's not like any real world where if you keep taking drugs you get addicted to it like in Fallout or something like that. So, but once again, we're saving money, so. Alright, let's keep going on. Alright, triage cyber, was it cyber clinic? Alright, let's take a look inside, see what people are doing here. Alright, let's see what we got. A locked door and Mr. Xavier Escabel, whatever. As you approach the elf, you notice that he's in mid-conversation. His lips move rapidly, his voice comes out in a low, quiet tone. The glossy plastic shell of a high-grade comlink links on his wrist. Listen in on the conversation. Doing your best to look uninterested, you lean in slightly and strain your ears. You find that you can make out the doctor's end of the conversation. No, no, the price I'm quoting you is more than fair, well below market value. In fact, if you can't pay it, that's your problem. Yes, I know that the market price has gone up. That is the seller's market. Well, then, I'll just have to find the money or go without. I'm sorry, but I have to go. I have a patient. He presses a button on his comlink and looks up at you, a $1 million smile on his face. Sorry about the wait, my friend. Welcome to the Tria Cyber Clinic. He extends his hand to you. I am Dr. Xavier Escabel, and your name is... Actually, I wanted here by mistake, sorry, I'll just be going. Refused, my name is none of your concern. Shake his hand, Blackwire, President. Pleased to meet you, Blackwire. What can I do for you? Can you analyze the substance for me? Should be simple enough. You have to leave it here with me and come back later for results. Never mind. Yeah, we can give him the flash. This is being sold in the streets. Can you tell me what's in it? I'll take a look. Come back a day or so. Because I wasn't going to use it anyway right now, so. It's one of those, like, say, for certain situations. Welcome back. What can I do for you? Let's see, medical supplies. Yeah, he sells trauma kits, med kits. Probably end up buying med kits eventually. Trauma kits, maybe not so much depending on how things go. If you're good at the game, you don't really need to worry about being rezzed. Cyberware, we can also buy cyberware. We're not going to do it right now because that's pretty expensive. If you're playing any magic user or anything like that, I would strongly suggest not buying any cybernetics because what that does is it lowers your essence and you get worse at magic. But if you're not playing magic, then go ahead. There's really no... in the tabletop version and in like games like Cyberpunk, if you lose essence, you lose your humanity. If you hit 0 in any of those games, you basically become an NPC because you basically become a robot. Not so much in this game. There's no negative to lowering your essence as much as you want. You just can't go into magic if you do that, though. But we'll go over that when we have a little extra money. Because, yeah, some of it is, like, increase your chance to hit, extra armor, bonus to your stats, stuff like that. So, but we're not going to do that right now, so. Save that for another day when we get some cash. I will eventually want to boost up some stuff for me. Although, my character doesn't need as much just because I'm just playing a rigger. So, only stuff that'll help with, like, my stats really is all I'll do, so. Yeah, taking a look around town, see what everyone's doing. Oh yeah, we were talking to Zach there. Now let's boost up the camera a little bit. There's the safe house again. So, donations for the soup kitchen have slowed, Samuel. Sigh, I'm not surprised. Altruism often comes with an expiration date. Well, not everyone has money. So, let's see what you guys have to say. At the sound of your approach, the orc turns to face you, wears a severe expression, but there's a kindness in his eyes. Ah, hello, human. As you can see, I'm in the middle of a conversation with my assistant. The volunteer worker holds her silence, but her expression is full of naked hostility. Samuel gives her a sidelong glance, and she seems to get the message. The fire in her eyes dies down to a low simmer. But we do not have to be impolite. Is there something I can do for you? I can help overhear conversation. I take it that you run a charity of some sort? He nods. Yes, it isn't much, but we do what we can. Such as, give me specifics. Clears his throat, then begins to count off his fingers. In the past several years, I've established a shelter where the depossessed can sleep, a soup kitchen to feed the hungry, and a library for the people of the Crescent Bazaar to better themselves. It isn't much, I admit, but it's a start. A good start, Samuel. You must be hard on yourself. There are limits to what one man, even a determined man, can accomplish. That is true. He nods to the orc at his side. Thankfully, some of the residents that I've helped over the years have come back around to help me. I've got 15 assorted orcs and trolls from all over the Crescent Bazaar working with me now. They help me make the soup line, stock the library shelves, to do all the hundreds of other little things that a community organizer needs done every day. These extraordinary individuals are laying proof that what we do have here of value. They are my inspiration to continue forward. She beams at the compliment from her body language clear that she idolizes Brackenbauer. For now, do you have any more questions? If not, I will bid you good day. I don't wish to sound self-important or rude, but there are many pressing matters that demand my time. 15 assorted orcs and trolls. Does that mean the other races aren't welcome within your organization? That's taken a rather narrow view of what we do. Yes, it is true that my assistants are all members of the Goblinoid race. It is also true that before they accepted my help, they were thieves, gangers, and deadbeats. It's not because they were bad people. That is because those of us with Goblinoid traits are feared, mistreated, and denied painful employment by a society that hates us. I hire only goblinoids because mainstream human society has created a need for me to hire only goblinoids. The orcs and trolls of the Krasnbazaar deserve a workplace where they will be treated with dignity and respect. All that being said, our services are available to all. We wouldn't turn down a desperate person away, regardless of the person's metatype. Even humans, the most privileged of all races, are welcome at our door. Isn't that what's most important? Your use of exclusionary language is telling. Even humans are allowed? Please, mind Freud. He shakes his head. Don't make this into something that isn't. Who the hell are you to question Samuel? What have you done for the Krasnbazaar? No, there are more important things to do than argue about this. He nods at you. I'm sure that his heart is in the right place. Now, please, friend, there are many tests that demand my attention. Is there something more than you need, or shall I bid you adieu? I'd have talked about your organization. He nods. Yes, of course, please go on. Accepting donations? Yes, of course, we're actually desperate for them. Truth be told, people seem more intent on taking care of themselves than are providing for the less fortunate. Of course, those concepts are not unrelated. As poverty rates increase, so does the crime rate. Assisting the needy increases the quality of life for all. In any event, our shelter has some basic needs that desperate needs to be filled. The walls of the shelter are non-insulated, new blankets, which go a long way towards keeping your guests healthy and comfortable. I do want to purchase some space heaters as well. $250 new can make the purchase. Whatever you could spare would be much appreciated. And then, you could give them cash. Later on, there are some references to it, but we're saving money in this run. But if you're playing like easy mode, you could easily throw away the cash. Or if you're playing a character type that doesn't need money as much, like if you're playing like a physical adept, and you're only saving your money for basically armor and spells, you could probably easily afford it. So, but yeah, you could give him some money. I'm not going to. Sorry, I appear to be strapped for cash. A common refrain. He gives you a sad smile. I appreciate the thought all the same. No question, I'm just passing by. So, yeah, you could give him cash. Like I said, they make references later. I think you do get something later on for doing it, but like karma or something like that, but I don't remember exactly. I'll have to look up that later, so. Before you stands a troll, though is a stretch to say he's standing at all. His great mass is barely held upright by two Ventus prosthetic legs, along with a crutch under one arm. His body clicks and hums with every shift of his weight. Despite these disabilities, his eyes are sharp and calculating. I know you. Hope you so. Haven't been here long. If you know Monica. Sure, I know Monica. You one of hers, then? I'll leave you be. There's something you should know about Monica. I'm Blackwire, by the way. Good to meet you, Blackwire. Name's Zaleski Lane. What's your place in the Krasnbazaar? No place, really. Just an old relic rustling away. There's something you should know about Monica. Something happened to her on the run? I'm afraid so. In the future, I'm not going to read every single line of dialogue I can choose from, just to, unless it's funny or something like that, because otherwise, like, my episodes will double their length, so. And this game is longer than Shadowrun's Returns by quite a bit, so. There's already been whispers. I had a bad feeling. Besides, Monica almost always comes around after a run to check on everyone. She's long overdue, and now here you are in her place. So she's severely wounded or outright dead. Which is it? I'm afraid she's gone. The grizzled troll nods grimly. The servers and his prosthetics complain as he lets loose a heavy sigh. Now that's a shame. She was a hell of a runner, that one. And a good friend. I'll leave you be. It goes to show that Monica had a presence in the community here. So she was the practically perfect person before she died. No faults about her at all, except for being headstrong. Okay. Yeah, let's talk to one more person. I think we'll call it an episode. Simi, warming herself in a dim light in the dying street lamp is a waif of a girl who looks too warm for her ears. The Mother Superior, she says there will be 7 for me to care. I need to see them. 7 what? What do you have to care for? The captain's children. The Mother Superior says there are 7. She says I'm to be governess to the children. You notice a chipjack poking out beneath the young woman's unruly hair. The vacant look in her eyes marks her as a likely BTL junkie, a loss between reality and any number of better-than-life virtual constructs. I need money to get back to them. She's quoting, she's detailing a Rodgers and Hammerstein's play. I forgot the name of the play off the top of my head, but yeah, she's playing the governess in this one. That story sounds familiar. Captain Von Trapp is very well known and respected. The poor dear lost his wife and the children, their mother. A child should not be without a mother, and a mother should not be without a child. Have you seen the captain? Look, do you know Monica? Monica, is she one of the sisters of the Abbey? No, wait, Monica. A flicker of recognition flights through the haze in the young woman's eyes. Yes, Monica, she's good to me. She brings me food to eat and tea to drink. I'm afraid I have some bad news. Despite the woman's persistent delirium, she seems to glean meaning from your tone. She died? Yeah, I'm sorry, she did. The girl grips her head with claw-like hands, tugging at her hair as if she might pull her brain out through her skull. I don't like this, but I can't switch it off. The girl's frail body shudders and her eyes grow large, but she does not sob. Instead, she smiles at a sad smile, looks as to have been worn all too often. She will go to heaven, she told me. It is a place for good people, stillborn babies, and childhood pets, and she was a good person. The girl then begins to mumble to herself while fingering the hair that covers the jack on her head. I'm going to step away now. Yes, good. I need to rejoin the other children. Oof. Yeah, it's an addiction. BTLs, better than life. What's the sign say? A bizarre monument towers before you. At the top of the pedestal, the form of an angel stands, its outstretched wings looming over the small park, but the material is strange and uneven, giving the statue a cold, Frankenstein-esque appearance. It appears that the artist has wielded this momentum together from various metal scraps and pieces of junk. As you approach, a small, grimy monitor at the base of the statue flickers dimly to life. The grainy face of a smug young orc appears on screen. Hello there, I'm Kerbert Hansel, the creator of this monument. What would you like to know? Statue name. This is my tribute to victory, the victory of anarchy. It is both a citation and parody of the statue we destroyed some 20 years ago. You may remember it from the history triads of the Seagull Vassal or God Sails. 2. Installation history. Isn't it obvious this? Sieg Sassel, a monument to the hubris of the Persian states, gets blown to bits, so someone takes a lot of bits and builds a monument to the hubris of anarchy. I mean, what more is there to say? 3. About the artist. I am the visionary Herbert Kunzel from the Vauldemare. You might know me from... Okay, well, there isn't much to know me from yet. I intend to change that. All art is born from misery. After all, step away from statue. Alright. And it looks like a phone ringing. Shall we take that phone ring? Anyone else have anything to say? Can we find Green Winters and find out more about Monica's death? Find out next time in the next episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.